Hi there. Do you know which feast always falls on a Thursday in the Orthodox Church? I'll give you a clue. It is celebrated 40 days after Pascha. Did you guess it? That's right, the Holy Ascension. The Holy Ascension is the celebration of Christ ascending to heaven 40 days after his glorious resurrection. But what is the importance of this feast? Let's take a look. The Ascension of Christ marks his last appearance on earth, 40 days after his resurrection from the dead. Having made his first appearance as a baby, Christ, though being God, took on flesh and was born of the Virgin Mary. God became man and came down from heaven to dwell among us. As man, Christ came to save mankind. He did this through teaching, healing, feeding the hungry, restoring the sight of the blind, forgiving sins, and raising the dead. His earthly ministry ends with his crucifixion, death, burial, and resurrection from the dead. After his resurrection, Christ appeared to his disciples in the flesh many times. At his last appearance to his disciples, Christ commanded them to stay in Jerusalem and wait for the promise. He said to them, "You shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit not many days from now." We commemorate this event 10 days later at Pentecost. After he had given these instructions, he led the disciples to the Mount of Olives. Here he instructed them to preach his word in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria and to the end of the earth, as well as to baptize the nations in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. This is the Great Commission and is read at our baptism into the Orthodox Church because we are all called to be evangelists of the word to all the nations. As the disciples watched, Jesus lifted up his hands, blessed them, and was taken up out of their sight by a cloud. After this, 2 angels appeared to the disciples, and the angels said that the way the Christ ascended will be the same way he will return to earth at his second coming. This event marked the end of Christ's ministry on earth and shows the last stage of God's plan for mankind. Having fully united us with himself, Christ ascends and sits at the right hand of the Father, and with Christ, human nature also ascends, allowing us to be with God after we pass from this life. Let's explore the icon of the feast. In the icon, Jesus is sitting in a blue orb, also known as a mandola, which represents Christ's divinity. You can also see 2 angels holding the mandola, as well as the 2 angels on earth speaking with the disciples. His right hand is shown blessing us and those in the icon. The Mother of God, the Theotokos, stands in the center with her hands in a prayer-like gesture. She also appears calm, which shows her faith in God. She also represents the Church, eagerly waiting for Christ's second coming. Mount Olivet is drawn in the background, showing us where the event occurred. Through his ascension, we take hope in our unity with God. His descent on earth reminds us of his second coming and his promise that he will be with us until the end. Let's chant the Troparion of the feast. You ascended in glory, O Christ our God, and gladden your disciples with the promise of the Holy Spirit. And they were assured by the blessing that you are the Son of God.